Hey, it's your main man, E Vapors and Car Show Rail, and we're back with another Car Talk TV. And today's guest is my guy, Whurree Uzumaki, and he's gonna be here, man. I'm gonna let him tell everything that you need to know about him. Matter of fact, I see him in here. We're gonna go ahead and connect with him and send him that live request, and we're gonna get this thing rolling, man. Whurree Uzumaki. Interesting guy, man. He's bringing two worlds together, almost like a superhero. Hey, Whurree,
What's up, man? Can you hear me
what's going
okay?
on? Yeah, everything is good, man. I was just talking on my IG Live, E-Vapors IG Live, about this is my opinion of what you're doing. I feel like you're bringing two worlds together. They are in two different galaxies. They're not even close to each other. When we'll just say the typical type of people that are in the car world, the Mopar world, and the people that might be into like let's say a Comic Con event, anime, those type of things, are usually two different type of people, at
Correct.
least in my experience. So first of all, I want to welcome you, me, E-Vapors, and my co-host, Car Show Rail. We want to welcome you to Car Talk TV, man. This is the place where we're bringing the car community together, man. We want to introduce to some and push up even higher to others, car enthusiasts, man, YouTubers with cars, and individuals like yourself who are trailblazers doing something that I've never seen done before, man. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to be here. And you're right about that. That's my overall vision, is to bring those two worlds together. And when you look at the guys on YouTube doing movie reviews and whatnot, they're exploding. You look at the guys on YouTube doing car reviews and car modifications, they're exploding. So I figured if I'm right in the middle, I'll pull a little bit from all different sides, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. And just again on that whole two different worlds, man. I'm a type of guy where serving in the military for 20 years and been around the world, and then just as a teenager, I used to collect comic books.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been in that world heavily. I actually collected comic books, and it's something about reading comic books and using your mind to connect the pictures and bringing them to life versus
Yeah.
watching straight cartoons, which is nothing wrong with that. But growing up in that comic book world as an adult now, the stuff that I see that you're doing, and I see some of the cars that you're exposing and bringing together, it's taking me back to my childhood, man. Is there something about your childhood that kind of puts you where you are now, bringing those two things together?
I've always been into cartoons and stuff like that. I mean, I think most Americans are that way. We watch a lot of TV coming up, most of us. Some read books and comic books, like what you did. And I didn't get into comic books until later. I was exposed to the animation before I knew about comic books. And then once I got into comic books, it just kind of exploded into mangas and all that other stuff that's out there. And the more you see and the more you know, you just get more and more excited about it. And now I'm into cars. It's crazy, man. It's like when I did that Dodge Hellcat in a Tasha, which most people don't even know what that means, a Tasha. It's just a knowing car in Japanese. But, they've been doing it for years. They go all out with the lights, but they have trucks that just carry their cars around. That's like a disco club. It's crazy what they're doing over there, but we're doing stuff over here too. And I just, it's one of my things. I just want to just expose that. And that's one of the reasons why I always end my posts with, this is America and this is how we're doing it.
Yeah, and on that same note about Japan, being in the military, man, I've been around the world, been to a lot of different places, been exposed to a lot of culture. We got a lot of Navy in Japan, of course, and I was introduced to, I guess you could say, their car scene before I even saw, and I don't know how accurate the movie is, the
Fast and
Fast and
Furious.
Furious. Yeah, what would you say as far as accuracy on what you saw in the Fast and Furious movie versus what's really happening in Japan on the car scene?
Man, I don't even want to weigh in on that because, there's so many different opinions on that. But, when you watch, if you just search for Atasha cars on YouTube, you'll see a lot of their car meets, and they're really chill, but they do have some underground meets that are very similar to the ones in the movie, and where they meet in the parking lot. Lots of girls, lots of guys, lots of cars, and a lot of revving. And that's just the way they do it. Same thing that we're doing over here, you know. But we've taken it like this. We've taken it to a whole nother extreme over here, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
So,
some feedback. Are you hearing me okay?
oh, I can hear you just fine. You sound great.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
sound good, man. What was for your particular rap that you have on it now? And I've gone back through your Instagram, and I've been following for a little while, and I saw previous versions of your car. What gave you the inspiration for the current version of your car? Because I almost feel like it's going to change again. What's the inspiration for the current version?
It will change again, and it was all a progression for me. I'm a huge Naruto fan. When I was introduced to the Naruto fandom, the little kid, he was like me. Like, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I had to figure out how I learned to make it through and to get to this point. And that's the way Naruto had to do it too. When I watched that cartoon, I could see him. He was like the class clown. Couldn't read books, or he could read, but it was like something that couldn't keep his attention. But then once he figured out how he learned, he learned how to master a thing, and he became the best at that thing. And I just identify with that. So when I started off my car, I didn't have much money. I just started with a '09 on the side, just to troll people with that Dukes of Hazzards /09, because I knew I was going to go to 900 horsepower, and then I just progressed. I saved up my money. I shopped for sponsors, found sponsors that would help me out, and this is where I'm at. So the next progression is something reflective and more American, you know.
Gotcha. I
But
like
it will
that
be
thing.
Naruto.
Okay, yeah. But look, so I got a question, man. At least I had never seen it, and I've been on to a lot of car clubs and car scenes and whatnot. The television projecting out, is it a projection?
That
Or
is a projection. Yeah, it's just a pocket projector that's projected onto the screen, man. It's something I do for the shows.
wow. And this whole time I was thinking it was maybe a slim type monitor that maybe you bring out to the shows and it's just showing through. But you telling me you have a bracket or something that is mounted and it's just shining through the glass in reverse.
That's it. That's all it is. So in my case, for me, all right, let's talk about the Comic Cons, right? Because I'm always looking at the big picture, right? Comic Cons, like for instance, some of them are very small. But when I say very small, you might look at between 1,000 and 2,000 people going to this event over a day or 2 days, right? Then you have some that are huge, like the ones in Houston, the ones in New York, the ones in California. The one in Houston that I'm a part of, that one, and you can Google this, that one does about 50,000 people in a 3-day weekend, right? 50,000 people coming through the door. Imagine if you have a way to advertise your YouTube channel while these people are passing by, giving them something interactive to look at more than just the car. They're going to look at the car, of course, but you can go beyond that and not infringe on the con, because some cons may not want you to do that, and some cons may be okay with it, but without infringing on the fact that they're going to try to make their money too, and you got to always think about that. It's just another way to advertise, and that's basically what we're doing. We're marketing ourselves all the time.
And I absolutely agree with that. Being a YouTuber myself, and my co-host Carshow Rail, he's a YouTuber as well, and a business person, business owner. And I thought when I saw what you were doing, I just thought that was like one of the most brilliant things that I had seen and unique things that I had seen. On top of the whole anime combination with the Mopar world, I just thought it was just mind blowing, man. So when I came across your stuff, man, even now as I scroll through different things and I kind of see what you're doing, I'm always impressed. And not to go in your secret bag or anything, but what are some things that you're working on right now that you don't mind sharing?
The main thing is we're trying to get the Tesla wrapped and get this Carmic Con off the ground. That's my main focus right now.
Yeah, tell us about that. Yeah.
So again, people don't know about what we're doing over here. The wrap cars get pushed off into the back. If it's not a color changing wrap, don't nobody really care about it. People like me, say Lonzo, Cyborg. I can't think of everybody's name, but there's like a lot of us here in the States that are doing it. And when we go to car meets, we just blow people's minds. And, you know, people gravitate towards our car, but we don't get the respect, or we hadn't been getting the respect. So that's where Carmic Con comes in. No other Instagram channel out there is doing what I'm doing. And I really feel confident in that because I'm exposing you to the movie trailers and the anime, but then I'm also exposing you to the cars that honor or give tribute to those same movies, anime, cartoons, comic books, whatever it is, fashion, like Babe's Cat, like all these guys, man, we are pushing the bounds, and at some point, you know, they will notice us, and hopefully I'll be the medium that helps them notice.
No, I don't even think it's going to be a hopefully type thing. When you're a trailblazer, when you invent the iPhone, when you invent Microsoft, when you invent Amazon, when you invent the electric car, you are who you are. You know, you're always going to be tied into whatever that new trend is moving forward. When they go in the annals of history, we'll be able to look back and say, well, the first person that really lifted it off the ground was Whurree. You know, and I think that's pretty cool because it's dangerous going against the grain, man. You ever had any apprehensions about going the direction you're going?
No, because it's something that I want to do, you know, and I didn't care. Like, it wasn't for the rest of the world. I started doing it for me first, and then, you know, I started to realize that there's potential there. You know, the anime market online, you could just make a video about a manga and get, like, I don't know, 10, 20,000 views just because you talked about it, because people are so interested in it. If you pick one that's trending, you know, it's just crazy how big that market is. Same way with the DC Marvel fandom. When they drop their movies and their animes, their movies and their cartoons, movies, man, they trend on Google when you look at trends. You know, it's just like, once I saw that, it's just like, man, it's mind blowing. It's just being able to tap into that market, and that's the hardest thing to do. You know.
Well, let's do a Whurree Uzumaki Carmic Con consultation for a car owner that's thinking about getting a wrap done that is in that space. Okay, so let's say me, for example, for my I call it the spaceship right now, right? So I'm talking to you right now on the consultation. I've had so many ideas, and if somebody's calling my phone. I'm good. Can you hear me?
All right.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you.
So, all right. So now y'all heard it here first. Now, so if somebody go do it, we know we said it here first. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
I love Voltron, man. I
One of the
love
greats.
Voltron. Yes. I didn't really love the new version that they put on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It was, they kind of changed it and made it kind of modern, trying to fit with these modern trends and lifestyles and different things going on. I like the traditional old Voltron cartoon that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, if I could find a place that could draw it out and do a Voltron wrap on my car, or even if I did get a Hellcat, do it as a Voltron. That's something that I would really love to do. How would I go about doing that?
All right. So, for instance, you know, I went through this process, right? Let me think about that for 1 second. Okay. So the first thing I would do is I would hire an artist, right? Most Comic Cons, they have artists that are set up with booths, and they can give you a vector image of whatever they have, right? Or they can create something new. A lot of the wrap companies like Express Scans, because that's who I deal with a lot, Express Scans, Rocket Wraps, they have artists on staff that can do what you want to do. You just have to find the style of art that you want on your car and that you can live with, because wraps don't just come off, right? You got to have something that looks good, that you're happy with, that, you know, you can live with for at least a year. I don't know how often you plan to change your wrap, but if you don't have a sponsor, you know, wraps are not cheap. So you're going to have to live with it for at least a year, maybe 2 years. They last for about 5 years if you take care of your car. So that's where I would start. I would start with the artist. I would start looking for the artists out there that are doing the type of art or the style of art that I want to see on my car, because everybody can draw Naruto, for instance, in a different way. They draw the Hulk in different ways, and it's crazy. You know, if you're looking for the original comic book type deal, then
Yeah.
like you can find artists that can do that, but then there are certain artists that are just special, and they'll take it and they'll think about, like, if you want reflective inks, what's going to be reflective, what's not going to be reflective, and they'll just
Yeah.
run with that, you know. So that's going to be the trick. And there are artists all over the world, man. The internet has made it so easy with, like, even with Fever or Fiverr, whatever it is, you can find artists everywhere. You just have to do a Google search.
Yeah. I'm with that, man. And my thought pattern was, again, where would I start? And you pretty much answered that question. And I'm the type of guy, man, where it's like, look, if it's one-stop shopping in Houston, man, I ship the car to Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Like, I
Yeah.
would rather, if somebody's already in that lane, they're proven, they're doing it, and it seems like you guys out there are really getting it done. You guys are in that lane, man. I would ship my car out there so fast. Like, because before the show started, I was talking to the co-host, Car Show Rail, you know, and he was like, "Didn't you say something about getting a Hellcat?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did say that." And you know, I go back and forth, man, and I'm so bad now. I'm almost kind of like the last car that I drove is like the best car, because I was in LA for a few days, and I had the pleasure of driving a 2020 Porsche Carrera
Oh,
4S, you know, convertible, man. And when I tell you, I fell in love with that car, I really did. But a wrap is something that I almost feel like puts you in a whole nother stratosphere. So on that same line, is this the wrap for the next 4 5 years, or are there plans for something else
for me?
outside of the Tesla? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I was lucky enough to get sponsored by Rocket Wraps and Express Can. So it's just a matter of deciding on what I want, in my opinion, and just taking the car back. But like I said, I'm not trying to take advantage of any company. Just because somebody sponsors you doesn't mean that you're going to take advantage of them. Like, for instance, you know, I dip my own wheels. So in that picture you have up on the screen there, that's not a that's a vinyl wrap on the wheels that I do myself. I do that because I'm sponsored by Super Rap, and what they do is when they sponsor you, there are levels to everything. Most companies, when they first sponsor you, they send you product so that you can make a video about their product, demonstrate how to put it on, how to take it off, and how long it lasts. And I've had a pretty good relationship with them to where, you know, typically about every 6 months I change the color of my rim, you know. But since I'm sponsored, you know, by them, and they benefit from it, because when I do a video, other people go out and buy the stuff. It's a very beneficial relationship, you know.
Yeah, and you kind of answered the question I was going to ask you, because a lot of us, you know, YouTubers that are out here, you know, the word sponsorship is almost like put a big smile on your face, you know, because you start thinking about the benefits. And if you could elaborate a little bit more, or maybe give one or two tips that would help a YouTuber attract a sponsor. Let's say with cars, you know, you have a Hellcat, or you got whatever BMW, or you got whatever you have. What do you feel is the way to attract the sponsor or approach a sponsor? One or two tips.
The best thing is to have a media kit, right? And some people don't know what a media kit is, but I mean,
Yeah.
the guys who are in it to make money, they know what it is. They have some have managers that have media kits, right? The best thing is to have a media kit with all your accomplishments. If you don't have an accomplishment, have a very tight plan written down with photos of your car, and you send that to as many people who will accept it. You know, that'd be my number one tip. Just have a plan together and look organized, because this is a business to them, so it should be a business to everybody else when you're approaching them. It's not for fun. And I've talked with a lot of sponsors about that. They get hit up by a lot of young people who think that, you know, they have the next hottest car when they haven't done any shows. They're not taking pictures and pushing their cars, or they move from car to car every 6 months. So why would I give you rims and you're not going to even have the car in 6 months? You know, and how many hits are you? How many impressions are those rims going to get on that car in that 6 months or 4 months time? You know, so you got to have your stuff together when you approach sponsors. Don't just, like some of the smaller ones, you can walk in, talk to them, send them an email, and they'll send you free stuff left and right. You know, but your goal is not just to get free stuff. The free stuff establishes a relationship. From there, you want to work into getting paid, because that's what you're doing. You're making money for them, and you're doing all the work. You should be getting paid at some point. You know, there's levels to everything.
Absolutely.
What would be my second tip? Is be persistent. Don't just look for one. Like, you're gonna hear a million no's before you hear yes, because you're not the only person out there looking for sponsors. You're not. Everybody wants them because everybody's trying to do this at the lowest cost possible. And if somebody has 100,000 followers and you only have 2,000, the person with 100,000 followers is going to get them if their analytics show that they are doing it. And that's another big thing. Like, I just went through two contracts for sponsors, and in both of those contracts, first contracts that I ever really paid attention to, both of those contracts, they wanted to have access to my analytics. So let's say I was faking the funk, there's no way you can fake the funk, because YouTube and Instagram and whatever will show them exactly what you're doing, and they can make an informed decision on if this is worth it for me, right? There's a lot that goes into it, but everybody, like, there are people that don't check that. There are sponsors out there that don't check that, but like the ones that I've had the pleasure of dealing with lately, those guys, they do.
Yeah, no, that's smart, man, and I appreciate you giving those two tips, because on that same line, man, what I have discovered, and I'll just give you my brief YouTube history. I was loading videos back in 2006 on YouTube before it was associated with Google, right? So I'm fully aware of how it works, and I probably had a few years off, came back around 2012. I was doing a sports comedy show with my brother Terrell. So we were loading videos on YouTube back then. But to move it forward now, what I find is that YouTubers are, a lot of times, they're so separate. And YouTube Academy promotes doing collaborations with other YouTubers. Do you ever find yourself going through resistance if you're reaching out to individuals for collaborations?
Here's the deal with me and collaborations, man. I try to stay in my lane. So let's say when I had 1,000 subscribers, I only reached out to people who had 1,000 subscribers or less, right? Because those people who might have less now, with YouTube is so fun. It's like it's so I don't know. It's so unpredictable. You don't know who's gonna blow, so you can't write off anybody. Whether they're smaller than you or bigger than you, because the person who's bigger than you, who you've been after, they could be at their lowest point by the time they give you a deal, right? Whereas that person that you were ignoring before then shot past you like a rocket. So you got, for me, like when I think about you do get resistance when you try to reach out to people who are bigger than you, because they have worked so hard to get to that point and to capture those subs that they have. They're not trying to help somebody avoid all that because they went through all this pain to get there. I'm not trying to say they're not trying to help, but it's got to be beneficial to them to give you access to all that hard work that they put in to get to that point. You know what I mean? So if you're not like Mr. Organic, he charges. Tall Guy Car Review, they charge for collaboration videos. That's them saying, are you serious or not? Some YouTubers do that, some YouTubers don't. For me, I don't do that. I just try to help out as many people as I can, because that good karma will come back to me. I really do believe that. What you put out is what comes back to you, And I'm not saying I'm doing it to get anything back. I just know that if I'm living my life that way, it will come back. That's just a guarantee.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head about paid versus unpaid. In life, I'll just speak for myself. I can tie into so many successes of people that didn't have to pour into me, that were above me or ahead of me in life, right? And they coached, taught, and mentored me, right? And now as I've come up and made money through the years and been successful, built a house on a golf course and doing all these different things, right? The whole time I've been pouring out to people and coaching and mentoring and using my platform in the real world to bring people up. Yes, they don't have to go through what I went through, because I already went through it, so they don't have to go through it. So any platform that I have, it's a each one teach one. So I went through the fire and through the storm so that my daughters don't have to start from the bottom and climb all the way up. They're already up. I take that same approach in life, and I'm taking it the same thing in YouTube, because I was already established before YouTube ever came into my life. So as I'm doing YouTube with, I got 1,500 subscribers in the YouTube world, that might seem small. But I know YouTubers with 1 million subscribers, but they don't own a home. They don't own any cars. They're not well established in the community. They just caught fire eating crab legs on YouTube. They caught fire playing with toys on YouTube. So I want to say thank you for what you're doing, and people collaborating with you, and you're not necessarily basing it on the number of subscribers that they have. I think that is a hidden gem out here in the social media world. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that, but see, yeah, but like with me, I don't like. I still don't. I don't collab with everybody. Like for instance, if they say it's got to be mutually beneficial, right? So when somebody asks me to do a collaboration video, the first thing I do is I take them seriously, but I go and look at their videos. If they haven't put the time into their videos to show some growth or to show that they're taking it seriously, why would I give them my time and my platform to do more nothing? You know what I mean? Everybody's like, I want to be on top. I want to be there. I'm not a big YouTuber. Don't even like I'm nowhere near that. But it's like this. I realize, like, so I say I stay in my lane and I work with people at my level who are moving in the same direction, right? Like like most of the guys I can name right now are not even on my level anymore. They passed me up, and I'm just trying to catch up. I'm just running my steady race, but that's how YouTube is. You can never know when you're gonna blow or if you're gonna blow, but you just gotta have the faith to keep moving forward. So it's crazy. You want to give all that information to them and teach them, but you can make a video showing your analytics. The only thing that they're gonna pay attention to is how much you make. That's just what a lot of people care about. They don't care about how you got there. They want the easy light switch on. All right, I'm making this money too now. Whereas it might have took me 5 years to get there, but then another person, it might take 2 days. They start up a YouTube channel, like that girl who had that van life or whatever she is. Started up that YouTube channel, and she was just living out of a van. She got over she got over 1 million subs right now, and she's only been up for like a year. You never know who's gonna blow. And like when I watched the videos, I wasn't impressed because I'm not a van life guy. But apparently, there's a huge audience out there for van life stuff, and I'm not knocking them at all. No, it's just there. So you just got to be careful about who you give your time to. Just like in relationships and everything else, you got to be careful about that. So I try to help out as many people as I can. But you got to know, if you ask me for a collab, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go look at your videos. I'm gonna look at your channel and see how much time you put in it. And if you haven't invested that sweat equity into your channel, there's nothing I can do for you.
No, that's
a lot of people feel that way.
No, that's really good, because I'm the same way outside of YouTube. If you're asking for help, let's say financially, right? And I know here are the steps you need to do before we can even meet. Here's your homework. Here's your assignment. I need to see you go through step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna find out if you're serious. If you're serious, you're gonna do all steps, and then when we meet, then I can help you. It's the same thing you're saying. You're a YouTuber and you have one video, but you want to collab with me. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's a fair request. Like you said, you should put the work in. But most YouTubers, wouldn't even consider. Period. I don't care if you had 100 videos. If you don't have 100,000 subscribers, man, when I tell you, these YouTubers, man, they finally making $3,000 a month for the first time, $4,000, $5,000 a month for the first time. I mean, I don't look at $5,000 a month as a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny, in the YouTube world, a guy or a girl making $5,000 a month with 100,000 subscribers, boy, you couldn't tell them that they not. I almost said Prince de Jour. He's from BET. Back in the day, he was a man. They thinking they Prince Harry and Prince Charles because they're making $5,000 a month. I just don't understand that mindset.
But for them, for the person who might be that way, they just doubled their income, especially if they didn't have a good job before. they are where they never thought that they would be, you know, and they are living their dream off of just two thousand. Some people don't make $2,000 a month, you know, and that's a real thing. So when you get that money, that's when the growth really starts for a lot of people, because now they want to make more. How am I going to make more? How am I going to manage my money? You know, but you're right. Some people are not humble with that blessing, and they don't realize what they have. They think it's going to be there forever. And I was watching Hemi Life the other day when he said that, and I'm dropping a lot of names, but I was watching him, and he said that, you know, this YouTube stuff can go away. You got to have your ducks in a row, you know, and it could at any point in time, just like Trump is about to cancel TikTok possibly, you know, or he's going to force them to sell to Microsoft, which, you know, I don't know how well Microsoft does or not. I know the stock prices is pretty high, but, you know, whatever. But if they don't want to sell, just like they got banned in India, they'll get banned in the United States, and that'll be a wrap. And I didn't realize how much money people were making off of TikTok, man.
I was totally oblivious to the fact that people were making money off of TikTok. But what I did discover through watching a lot of YouTube videos, the payments from advertisers went down when COVID hit. So, you know, let's say that a big YouTuber was making, you know, $5,000 a month. Their money went down to like $3,000 or even $2,000 a month when COVID first hit, because the advertisers were not paying what they were paying before, because now their company is taking a hit. You know, they're not making the money, so they're advertising less on YouTube. And what is it called? CPM, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's based on. Were you aware of that, or did you experience anything like that during that shift?
No, I'm still able to pay for my Tesla with my YouTube check, so I'm happy.
Hey!
That's what's up. So I haven't paid attention, but you know, everybody thinks that YouTube money is like one unlimited pot of money, but like you just said, there are advertisers involved, and if the advertisers are there, not there, you know, we don't get paid. And you got to think, YouTube is so freaking big. There's so many people on YouTube now, and more people coming online every day. They have to, at some point, they're going to be deciding who gets ads and who don't get ads at some point in time. And if you like, you know, you hear a lot of the guys out there talking about, you know, on YouTube, that your watch time retention is key. The reason why they're saying that is because I really do believe that they think that at some point, if you're not getting people to watch through your whole video or most of your video, you won't, even if you are monetized, you won't get ads. That's just my suspicion. Because why would YouTube reward somebody who only has, they might be getting the clicks, but then after a minute or 2 minutes and you got a 10 or 20-minute video, nobody's watching past that. But then, you know, people don't pay attention to the numbers. You know, like I'm talking about other YouTubers. When you're small, you don't pay attention to those numbers. When those are the numbers you got to pay attention to. Because when you figure out what will keep people watching, that's when the algorithm will pick you up and you will explode, you know? Even if you got a 2-minute video, people watch that 2-minute video, I think, and I don't know for sure, but I think the ratio there of how long they watch that 2-minute video, when that's all their attention span is, that makes the difference. I really do think that with the algorithm.
I have proof of that, my friend. It's amazing that you said what you just said. When I first got my BMW i8, I was just basically outside in the golf cart, and my wife was driving on the i8, and it was literally like a 48-second video that I captured of her pulling out of a driveway, and I labeled it because I was in the golf cart, and I said we was gonna race. I labeled it BMW i8 Coupe Race. 48-second video. A year ago when I first got the car. For some reason, about a month ago, this video started getting 1,000 views. I'll just say every week, just out of nowhere. So what you just said about that algorithm, I look at it as a surfer, a wave. Whatever happened, that video of mine hit that wave, and it's a short video, so people are watching all 48 seconds. And it's called a wave, and I'm looking at my analytics now, and in 2 days, it's got another 500 views in 2 days.
That's good.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, well, why? So you know what I want to do? Maybe I should make, and I kind of learned this from YouTube Academy, maybe I should stay in the lane of making more BMW i8 topic descriptive type videos. Do you use any of those analytics to make future videos? Are you a student of the analytics as far as making videos?
Of course, you got to be. That's the only way you can succeed when you're not a popular YouTuber. You got to realize what's working for you and what's trending. If you want to win, you find trending topics that people will go for. You know, like this thing with TikTok. That's a hot topic. If you do a search for it right now on YouTube, you'll find, like, I don't know, already, just yesterday, I think there were like 100 videos out there about it. But only a few were winning, you know. But it's a very hot topic, you know. And if you can get into that algorithm with topics like that, but stay in your niche. Like, you know, TikTok is everybody's niche. We're social media influencers, so I'm not outside of my niche talking about TikTok. But at the same time, you got to watch those. I'm with you. You got to watch those analytics, man.
So this what we're gonna do. We back at the consultation table for my rap. Okay, we're back at the consultation table. So pretty much what I just heard you give me a consultation to do my rap on my IA. It's gonna be a TikTok anime car.
A TikTok anime car. What is that?
It's gonna have TikTok logo on it, and it's gonna be whatever the trending anime character is for the car. And would you think, would that add to my channel if I had one of those ones that's a staple in anime? It's a staple in anime, right?
Yeah.
As far as hits and views and all that, and I wrap my eye in that. Would that be a good thing to do, even though that's not my lane per se, because I'm not a student of anime?
Yeah.
But would that get the hits on YouTube for adding something interesting to my channel?
Like, I'm not gonna say that it's all about the rap, you know, but you will. Like, you can look at people who make, like, you can look at, like, if you were to do a search right now for Tasha Cars, you're not gonna find many hits on there. But if you do a search for Naruto, it's all in how you work it. You know, it's all in how you work it. It could work. I wouldn't put the TikTok on there because TikTok is like, it might go away. It's trending today, but MySpace used to trend too at some point in time, you know? So
yeah, Black Planet did too.
Yeah, all these things are going to go away at some point. It's inevitable. That's just the way our society works, especially when you're following the younger crowd. Then they're not going to stay one place, too long, you know? So yeah. I wouldn't do TikTok, but, you know, finding a good trending anime, yeah, you could definitely win, especially if there's not a lot of cars out there of it. But I wouldn't just do the anime because, you know, like when I do my car mods, I'm modding up my anime car, but I'm doing the Comic Cons as well. And then also, I hope to start reviewing the Naruto anime and stuff like that. You know, and with them not ending Naruto at the same time and starting off with Boruto and all this stuff, it keeps my car and my titles relevant. You know, even though I don't use a lot of Naruto and stuff in my titles, people find me on Instagram because of my car, and then they go over to the YouTube. You know, Instagram has been one of my biggest, I don't know, leads for subscribers.
Yeah, so when you're looking at your analytics in studio, for as outside sources, you're saying that your Instagram is usually higher than
Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and
okay.
Facebook.
You know what I have found for a little while, Reddit was.
I haven't figured out Reddit yet.
And that's something that I've been learning because I feel like it's almost like a gold mine that hasn't been tapped into as far as using it to grow your channel. I'm just a student of multiple places, just like I believe in multiple streams of income. I believe when I post a video, I send it to my business Facebook page. I also post it on Pinterest. I also post it on Reddit. I put it on Twitter. I make a little short TikTok video for it. I'm not dancing none. I still have a blog spot, evapors.blogspot. That's 6 places that it goes to every time I load a video. And over time, I'm seeing analytics. It might be a 2% or 3%, but what if I didn't put it on Reddit? What if I didn't put it on even Tumblr? Tumblr is still active. I loaded the Tumblr as well. And my question to you is, what platforms outside of, you know, Facebook and Instagram do you regularly post your videos as far as trying to grow your YouTube channel?
That's it, man. Just
That's
Facebook.
it?
That's it for me because, you know, I tried, what is that? I tried some of those services where you do like I did a video on it, like I don't know, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like you go on there and you watch a video and somebody watches your video. It's a
Mm,
waste of time, you know, and they're making the money off the ads that they serve you, or
mm.
if you pay so that you don't see the ads, you know, it's just a waste of time. So the best thing that I've been able to do is just to focus on Facebook and Instagram, and that's
Gotcha.
it. You know,
Man,
sometimes I may run a Facebook ad because it's so simple, you know, or a
yeah,
Google ad because it's so simple. But you know, it's hit or miss when you deal with Google ads. And when you're dealing with Facebook ads, they make it a little bit easier, but it's still hit or miss. You might pay all that money and then nobody follows through. It's a learning thing, you know. It's a learning curve, you know. But
yeah,
the best thing to do is Instagram to me, for me. But what works for me
yeah.
might not work for anybody else.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good stuff. Cause you got to do what works for you. I'm just kind of like a big fishing net type dude, and it literally takes me, you know, an additional 3 minutes to throw it out there on, you know, Reddit. And I'm also now using the community tab on YouTube. You know, I think the community tab on YouTube is another untapped area of being able to promote yourself and promote others. Do you ever use the community tab on YouTube?
You talking about the stories or just the post? I use both
Not the
every now and
story.
then.
It's not the story. It'll say community tab.
Yeah, I use it sometimes, but I don't use it. I don't use it that much because I don't get much attention there. So if it's not working for me, I don't focus on it. You know, my energy's
Yeah,
focused on just what's working for me, based on
yeah,
my analytics. You know, anything else is just like extra. And when I get to a certain point when I can hire somebody to figure out what's not working with that, that's when I'll do that. But I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of things. So, like I know, congratulations on quitting your job and going full time YouTuber. I'm still doing part-time YouTube, and it's whenever I can do it. At night, when I'm in bed, I'm working on my iPad, editing videos, you know, stuff like that. But I don't have time to sit there. I just gotta, like, if it's working, I want to keep doing it. If that ain't working, we'll come back to it when I have time, you know. So
yeah.
the
No,
stories.
that's
Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. Stories.
Yeah, I was gonna say the stories work for me, so that's why I do those, and that's why I offered it up for people when I did that little promotion to help out Carmic Con. But other than stories, I don't make many posts on the communities tab.
Got you. And I was just reading a comment from Miracle Whip 392. He said they
What
like
is
pictures.
that?
Yeah, they said they like pictures more than links of videos. I would have to agree with that because I'm thinking about myself. I mean, if I saw a link,
I
I
agree
mean,
with
I
that
might
too.
click it or I might not click it. But if I saw the actual picture of what you're selling or advertising, I'm gonna be a little bit more interested.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, a lot of people will write like long stories with their community tabs posts, and I just like it's all about memes. That's what you got to do when you're doing community tabs. I think it's got to be a good meme, and you got them. You know, I just don't have time to find them. Rob, man, like he posts some really good stuff. Like if you haven't checked out YouTube and on a budget, I just plugged him. You got to go do
Oh,
that.
I need to do that. What you say?
Yeah,
YouTubing on a but that's
on
the
a
name of the
budget.
channel?
That's Miracle Whips, yeah, man. He's exploding right now, man. Like if you want to talk about like he's I think by the end of the year Rob will have 100,000 subscribers at the way
All
that
right.
he's growing right now. I mean, he's just
YouTubing on a
exploding.
budget, 63,000 subscribers.
By the end of the year, he should be at 100, 100K, easy.
Listen, America, you heard it here first. Rob with YouTubing on a budget. Y'all need to go subscribe to my man. YouTubing. I just subscribed. I just hit the bell. I got in at 63K. So, you know, my stock, I'm gonna make some money, you know, when he gets to 100,000, because I came in at 63,000 and the price now is gonna be 100,000. So I'm gonna make money. When did you get in?
What me?
Yeah.
Back when he first started off, mostly. I've been a long time subscriber to Rob. No, he's a really good guy, really humble.
Man, and that's one thing, man. I'm glad you just said that. I really have loved the number of YouTubers that I've met, and you said it earlier, let's just say on the same level, 1,500 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 200, 300, you know, below 2,000 or whatever. I've met some really, really good people with drive, with passion, and I've seen some of them start after me, and I've seen some of them, you know, shoot beyond me, like you were saying. But the measure of success is not always in the number of subscribers. If that were the case, little kids playing with toys would be considered more successful than us. What are some other measurements, in your opinion, of success in YouTube outside of obviously subscribers and views? What would you say is success in your opinion?
For YouTube, like
Yeah,
what
for
else?
YouTube.
For YouTube in general, I mean, that would be it. Like the money, the success, and then the connections that we make. You know, if we have the right people around us as we grow, everybody grows with us. Everybody's happy. Nobody's backstabbing. It's just uh, a good environment to be in. That would be the most, like for me, that would be like a good successful environment. But like I'm so used to moving on my own, I'm always in my own little bubble. And then somebody will reach out to me, or I'll reach out to somebody, we'll do a collab, and then I'm right back in my bubble, just moving, trying to make sure that my house is together, so that when somebody does reach out to me, like a Rob or somebody, I'm ready. You know, that's just me.
Yeah. No, that's good, and I'm glad you went there, because that's kind of why I asked that question. I feel the exact same way. We all know what, you know, success is as far as numbers. You know what I'm saying? We know that get that 100,000, get that plaque, and get to the million, get the plaque. All that's great. But that real success, man, is when you're meeting people and you're networking, and you have a certain level of integrity, and you meet other individuals with integrity. And to me, that is the real success, when you're able to connect with other like-minded individuals and you see them grow. They see you grow. And let's say you knew Rob right from the beginning, and Rob now is at 63K. And then Rob has a bigger platform now. And he knows that, hey, man, this is one of my original supporters. I wouldn't be here without subscriber number one. You can't get to 63 without the first subscriber.
Definitely wasn't subscriber number one. I'm not saying that.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, without that first 150, 100, you can't get to 100,000 without one subscriber. You got to start with one.
Yeah.
So when you got people that are growing, but they're still approachable, and you got people that are growing and they're still humble, and they're still like have a servant mentality where they want to serve people, and their platform is their platform. But they're like, hey, come on, you know, I'll talk about you on my show. They don't feel any kind of way, and I love when I see that. Are there some other YouTubers, we'll just say, that have some bigger numbers that you've seen grow and you actually have a good relationship with them?
Uh, I can't name them off the top of my head, but you know, I want to add to what I was saying about success. After thinking about it for a few minutes, you know, success to me is everything that we said, right? But then being able to hire a team of people so that my time, my personal time, is not all spent on YouTube editing, trying to figure out what videos, what storylines I'm going to have. Having a team behind me that can do that stuff for me, and everybody's is happy with what they're getting paid, you know, that would be real success for me, because then everybody's enjoying their life, everybody's getting paid, very little stress, and we're all winning, you know.
Man, I love what you just said, and you mentioned earlier about me going out to LA, and literally my LA trip, I went out there understanding, I believe God has a plan for everybody, right? So I went out there. Normally, if I'm going away to California, I would have an itinerary. I'm meeting with XYZ at 9 a.m. on the first day. I'm doing such and such on the second day. I mean, an itinerary. I'm coming away from North Carolina to California, to LA. Normally, I would do that. But this time, I said, it's different. I said, I don't want an itinerary. I'm believing that when I get there, I'm going to connect with the people that I'm supposed to connect with. And when I tell you, it happened just like that. Some YouTubers on my level that I met, and even some people that's not even in YouTube, they took me in, they showed me around. I got a professional video shot. You know, Hollywood
I saw that was
cinematic.
Sway Media, right?
Excuse me.
That was Sway Media, right?
Yeah, with my guy Sway, you know, and Sway is growing and everything, man. But you know, I met Sway, you know, before he blew up with Tall Guy. So having that relationship, man, we was able to, you know, get a product done, and he did it. He shot it, let's say 9 in the morning. He had it to me edited, the pictures and the video by noontime. By the time my jet lag wore off and I woke up, in hand, ready to share by noontime. So with that being said, man, do you feel like or have plans to do any YouTube outside of where you are, whether that be international or in other states? Do you have any plans to expand your YouTube in other states or countries?
Uh, I mean, I want to do travel vlogs like what you just described and meet other people. But right now, this COVID situation, I'm taking it serious because, you know, I may not think I have any underlying health conditions, but then as soon as I get it, I find out that I actually do. So I've been like, I haven't been going out to car meets or anything like that. So until they get this problem straight, I haven't been even thinking about traveling like that. But at some point, you know, the original plan was to, you know, travel to LA, travel to all these places, meet all these YouTubers, and make it happen for myself. But right now, I'm just playing it safe.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, man, and a lot of people are doing that, and you know, I'm doing that myself. But that LA trip, man, it's just something. And even you know, when I went out there, you know, I definitely you know played it safe as far as social distancing and practicing and all that good stuff, man. But the networking, brother, when I tell you the networking was absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
and I really have visions of being a East Coast, West Coast YouTuber, man. Like at a minimum every other month going to LA for 3 to 5 days and shooting videos and doing my thing out there for my channel. So my channel will have North Carolina footage, East Coast footage, and it'll have West Coast footage out in Cali, San Diego, going out to Vegas, maybe a trip or two when I go out west. So those are the kind of plans that I have when the world gets to a new normal, so to speak. But just to kind of wrap things up here, we got a few more minutes and whatnot.
You know, before you get off of that topic, you know, I like what
Yeah,
you just said because what you're talking about is actually telling a story. Your travel is a story that you're telling, so it's not just about a car. Like if you look at, I'm gonna say Rob again. Rob is telling a lot of stories with every single video he posts, whether it's about his wife, even in his thumbnails. His stories make his videos. Like I mean, he's delivering on all points. Damn David is another guy who is telling stories now with their traction channel. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but
hmm
they are seeing some serious growth because I think, you know, just me, I like to watch them because they're telling stories. That's a thing, and I like what you just said because it seemed like you're going to be telling the story. People are going to be sucked into your travel. You get there, you meet these guys. The story of you meeting these guys and doing whatever y'all are going to do should be very interesting to watch. You know.
yeah, and I'm glad you said what you just said, and it's kind of leading me to a comment and a question. With my YouTube, I call it MCM, money, cars, and motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been literally just that, you know, and the car has been more of the BMW i8 and whatnot. And money has been, you know, budgets and, you know, how to get your money right and all those good things. And motivation, I love being a motivational speaker and pouring life and everything into people. But I also do stand-up comedy, right? And without a lot of the social interactions, because of what's going on right now, that part of me doesn't come out when I'm in the car by myself. It comes out when I'm with other people going through a story of the day on a vlog. What are some other things about you that you aren't able or hadn't been able to display on a regular basis on your YouTube channel that you would like to display a part of you, your life, or whatnot?
Right now, everything that I want to display, I'm displaying. But I don't. I'm inside my box, and I'm just working in until I can get out of that box. you
Yeah.
know. Um, but there's nothing else I want to put out there. Everybody knows everything about me, just about. I'm an open book.
Yeah. And just like I said, for me, man, I don't sit in the car by myself and just turn a switch on. Oh, hey everybody, and I'm just cracking jokes and everything. My personality generally comes out when I'm around other people. You know, some of my blood relatives, or some of my friends locally, and even on the car scene. And on that note, on the car scene, I know you were saying you hadn't been going to any car meets or anything like that. But where you live, are there consistent car meets or car clubs that you're a part of?
No, me personally, and this is just my personal experience. I got to keep saying that because I can offend a lot of people by saying some of the things I'm saying. But I just don't do car clubs. It's too much drama for me. Every single one that I've been a part of is never ended well. You know, there are people who get in their feelings. You have some people paying money, some people not paying money, some people trying to do too much, some people ain't doing nothing at all. It's just too much drama. So I affiliate with like all the car clubs here locally, but I've never been like members like Space City LX. I think I might be a member of that club, but I don't do anything. I'm one of those people that don't do anything until there's like a big meet. But with all the other car clubs, Lane Hogs and all these other guys, I'm I'm there with them, but I'm just not gonna commit myself to a club. It's just too much for me to do personally.
Yeah. Well, we might be cousins or something like that. Um, I had a
Yeah,
negative experience going to a Cars and Coffee. You know, I thought I was gonna be welcomed with open arms in the BMW group and everything. I spent 2 hours over there, and only one person talked to me.
yeah.
You
That's
know
the
what I'm
way
saying? It was
some
almost,
clubs are, man.
yeah, it was almost like, we don't care you have an I-8. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to pretend like this I-8 is not here. Even though 1,000 people are standing around the I-8, the little BMW group, we're going to pretend like we don't see the I-8 over there. No, right beside us.
Yeah,
And,
and
and
stuff
I
like
and
stuff.
after that day, I went home and I went on IG and I created Car Club NC. Car Club NC, man. I want to post pictures of people's cars here in North Carolina, man, and just, hey, man, we're a big car club. We're all together, man. There are no rules other than treat everybody with respect, be kind, and be cool, and enjoy whatever pictures I post on Car Club NC, man.
And
Yeah,
that's an Instagram channel or is that a Facebook page?
it's on Instagram, Car Club NC, man. I'll send it to you, man. You can join us.
Please, I'll follow.
I'll repost.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
definitely follow that.
yeah. So look, we're
So,
gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man, so we don't get cut off. But what were you getting ready to say?
huh? No, I
I
was just
think,
gonna say, you know, that thing that you described, you can experience that once you get your car wrapped as well. There are people out there who don't respect, depending on what kind of theme you go with. Like if it's not the Japanese way of doing it, then it's wrong. It's
mm,
not Atasha. And again, that's one of the reasons why I always end my post on Carmic Con is that this is the American Atasha movement where we're focusing on Marvel, DC, Naruto. We're focusing on everything because we're gonna take it and we're gonna make it our own and you're gonna love it regardless of how you feel about it, how you feel about us. You're gonna love what we're doing. And that's what we're going with it on Carmic Con.
hey, no doubt, man. And we're at the 1 minute mark, so I want to say thank you for
No
spending
problem.
this time. Y'all know IG cuts you off these days, man. So they give you a timer and everything now if you
All
do
right.
an hour. So we're at about 1 minute left, man. But I want everybody to make sure they go and follow Carmic Con. I dropped it in there and I'll make sure I post it on my channels, man. But real quick, about 15, 20 seconds worth, man. What is Carmic Con again? And just tell the people about Carmic Con, about 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Carmic Con is an Instagram page that focuses on wrapped cars, themed cars, Marvel, DC, whatever you can think of, the Hulk, Cyborg, Superman. If there's a car wrapped with it, it'll be on Carmic Con. And if that's what you're into, follow us, you know. And thank you for this opportunity, man. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, karmic.con is what you need to follow,
.com.
and we'll repost it on eVapors. My co-host Carshow Rail, he'll repost it as well, man. But thank you, my friend. I believe we're all gonna grow together to new heights, and thank you for introducing me to YouTubing on a budget. So I'm about to go find out what I need to do on a budget, man. So thank you, man. Be blessed and have a great day.
All right, you too, man. Take care, everybody, and thank everybody for joining.
Yep.